Welcome back, everybody, for tonight's second game, varsity action. Leechburg Blue Devils making a 20-minute trip down the road to face our Kiski Cougars here tonight at John D. Andrini Field. Beautiful, sunny evening. Wasn't so much earlier in the day. Had some mist going down. David, you didn't think we were getting this game in, did you, David? Okay, so David knows how. Oh, David, just so everybody knows, David Dunbaden joining us back up here in the booth tonight. He was on a hiatus last game. He had a sales convention that he went to Chicago. He got to see a Cubs game. He's all excited. He's learned some new walk-up music techniques and all kinds of stuff. He's ready to display his expertise on the PA system tonight. Number 15 Major League Stadium for David Dunbaden. I mean, I do envy you, David. I have not been to that many, and I wish to also see all the MLB parks, but I have not even come close to 15. So, David, you're way ahead of me in that regards. Miss Hughes is still up here with us in the booth. She'll be. She's only been to one stadium. Has that been PNC, or did you ever see Three Rivers? So you've been to all two, both in Pittsburgh, but two separate stadiums, right? So I've been to two stadiums, right? I did too. I was standing on top of Mount Washington at the incline when Three Rivers got imploded, and so we'll be having varsity action here starting at sevens. Might be a little late on the game time start. We'll see. So the starting lineup for the Leechburg Blue Devils will be number 3 leading off. Number 3, Chase. Man, somebody needs to teach Coach Scheimer how to write. I'm going with Hillary. Is that what that is? Chase Henry. Henry. Might be Henry. Okay, so we're going to go with Chase Henry, number 3. He'll be playing shortstop and leading off. Number 32, Jake Cunningham. He'll be playing third base and batting second. Cummings. Okay, David. So maybe my eyes aren't just working so well right now, but I appreciate you correcting me, David. And it's Cummings. You're right. So Jake Cummings playing third base, and he'll bat second wearing number 32. Number 15, Jaden Floyd will play center field and bat third. Number 10, Rocco Vigna will be doing the catching, batting cleanup. Batting fifth, number 19, Mason Bertino. He'll be playing left field. Batting sixth will be number 37, Garrett Jones. So Garrett Jones will be batting sixth and playing third base. Number 13, Jackson Vargo will be playing second base and batting seventh. Batting eighth and playing right field will be number 18, Grady Bollinger. And doing the pitching and batting ninth will be number 21, Steven Sinjin. Backups will be number 2, Mason Skritek. Number 23, Lucas Gamble is also backup. Number 9, Matt Williams. And number 1, Tim Andracy are all backups for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils are coached by Heath Scheimer, assisted by Krieger, Mr. Krieger. Heath's son, Cam, is helping on the bench also. We welcome everybody in. Ooh, Miss Hughes has grapes. Thank you, Miss Hughes. So we're going to have the playing of the national anthem, and we'll be right back. So meeting at the plate will be the captains and coaches. Captains for Leechburg, number 32, Jake Cummings, number 15, Jaden Floyd, and number 3, Chase Henry. They're joined by number 33, Coach Heath Scheimer. Captains for the Cougars will be number 1, Eli Fontenez, number 2, Matthew Campbell, and number 16, Gabe Corman. They're joined at the plate by head coach Joe Ross and assistant coach Scott Hahn. Cougars are also assisted by Jeremy Zufall. This is from a different. So going over the ground rules. Can be a little tricky here with the ground rules at Kiski since we don't have a fence. So fly ball into the woods essentially is a home run. Anything else is run as long as you can, run as fast as you can, unless you can hit it past the light stanchions way out there in left field, which is a good poke. And then that would be a home run. Out of bounds lines are pretty much the heel side over there leading into the first base bleachers. And then there's a line that goes down, hugging the batting cage and that light post out there. And on the left field side, it would wrap around the light stanchion. And then it's the tree line the rest of the way down. So we're getting set. And So starting lineup for the Cougars will be leading off and playing shortstop will be Tyler Hahn. Batting second, number 14 will be pitcher Cy Zufall. Batting third will be center fielder number 1 Eli Fontenez. Cleanup hitter tonight is number 2, the catcher Matt Campbell. Brandon Abreu play left field, number 6, and he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth be the third baseman, number 9, Fielding Strauss. Batting seventh will be first baseman, number 10, Wade Collins. Batting eighth will be the right fielder, number 16, Gabe Corman. And rounding out the lineup will be second baseman, number 3, Logan Gates. So Cougars take the field. Zufall's getting his warm-up pitches in. So he'll be throwing to Campbell behind the plate. Left to right in the outfield will be Abreu, Fontenez, and Corman. On the infield will be third baseman Fielding Strauss, shortstop number 13, Tyler Hahn, number 3, second baseman Logan Gates, and number 10, first baseman Wade Collins. We'd like to welcome everybody joining us out there in live stream land, as I like to call it, David. I call it live stream land. Instead of TV land, I call it live stream land, David. David's just shrugging it off like you're not very creative, coach. I could have came up with something better than that in my sleep, and I don't know why you're wasting my time telling me these things. I appreciate your brutal honesty, David. So here we go. Top of the first, and number 3, shortstop Chase Henry will lead off for the Blue Devils. Zufall is getting ready to deliver the first pitch. Takes the rubber. Fastball right by him, and it's no balls, 1 strike count. Zufall off speed, and he gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Good change of pace by Zufall. No ball, 2 strikes. Winds and delivers. Off speed again. And gets Henry swinging over the top of the curveball for the first out of the inning. Zufall, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Nice start for Zufall on the mound. Last time out, Zufall went 5 2/3, only giving up 1 earned. Earning the victory against Penn's Manor last Wednesday. Number 32, Jake Cummings, now batting for Leechburg. Cummings squares around, lays down a bunt. It's right back to Zufall. And 1 pitch and another out. Zufall's working quickly. 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Cummings bunted that one pretty hard right back to the pitcher. Easy play for Zufall to complete the out. Jaden Floyd, center fielder, now stepping in for the Blue Devils. Curveball just misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Zufall, nice fastball, just missed, and it's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes on Floyd. He pulls the string and gets Floyd out in front of an off-speed pitch, bringing the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Curveball fouled off. Evens the count at twos. 2 out. Top of the first inning. Floyd with a 2-2 count. Facing Zufall. There's the pitch. Ground ball over the pitcher's head to Gates. He's going to have to rush the throw. Not in time as Floyd beats out the infield single. High chopper got over the pitcher's head, and Gates was not able to get it to the bag in time as Floyd, thanks, buddy, as Floyd beats out the infield single. So now, cleanup hitter, Rocco Vigna, number 10. He'll be doing the catching for Leechburg tonight. He comes to the plate with a runner on first. Floyd has a decent lead, fakes like he's going, and he does. Ball in the dirt, gets behind Campbell, and Floyd's going to get into scoring position easily for the Blue Devils. And Vigna will be ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Zufall is going to work from the stretch. Floyd's going to get a decent lead, not really being held. Now he steps back a little bit, gets a bigger lead again. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center fielder Fontenez comes in, and he gets under it easily to complete the 3rd out of the inning. And that brings an end to the inning. After an infield, 2-out infield single by Floyd, that'll bring an end to the inning with the Cougars coming up to bat in the bottom of the 1st right after this break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field, getting set for the bottom of the 1st inning. Cougars coming up to bat, due up, be number 13, Tyler Hahn, number 14, Zai Zufall, and number 1, Eli Fontenez. Matt Campbell will get up if any of those guys get on. And it looks like Steven Sengen will be on the mound for the Blue Devils. Leechburg sent a decent crowd down with them. Quite a few parents made the trip. Again, they're only 20 minutes up the road, so not a big travel for them, but nice to see them here. Anybody out there listening or watching on a YouTube channel, we welcome you in. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. If there's anything we can do to make it better, please drop a comment, and we'll do the best we can to rectify the situation. So leading off for the Cougars, number 13, shortstop Tyler Hahn. He's going to step in tight in the box, but deep. Ball behind him, and that'll be 1-0 on the count. Almost hit him. Hahn was able to get out of the way of the pitch. It's 1 ball and no strike. Ooh. Popped up to the second baseman. Vargo. Vargo handles it cleanly for the first out of the inning. Zufall now batting for the Cougars. Zufall pitching tonight. He's going to step and be in the closer to the front of the box. Senjin starts him out with a fastball on the inner half. That's strike one. Here's the delivery and the pitch. Off speed. Senjin works ahead quickly. Ahead. No balls and 2 strikes on Zufall. Shakes off the catcher. Now he gets what he likes. And he gets time. Zufall calls time, and Senjin stops off. He gets the delivery, curveball. Zufall out in front. Able to hang in, fouling it off into the third base dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. It was a nice off-speed pitch by Senjin. 0-2, 1 out, bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Fastball low. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball going to be handled by the shortstop, Henry, and he gets it over to the first baseman, Jones, and that's 2 outs in the top of the first. So ground ball by Zufall, handled cleanly by the shortstop, Henry. A little bit of a low throw, but picked out nicely by Jones at first. We have 2 out in the bottom of the first. Eli Fontenez now at the plate. Takes a low strike at the knees. It's no balls, 1 strike. Caught just barely right at the bottom part of the knee, and it was a strike. Fouls one off over the press box here. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Senjin gets his sign, winds and delivers. Curveball hangs high. Fontenez lays off, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slow curve by Senjin. A lot of speed differential on his 2 pitches here. Here's the delivery. Fastball fouled off again by Fontenez, out of play. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fontenez digs in deep in the box. Senjin delivers. Slow curveball stays up again. Fontenez works the count back even at 2-2. 2 out, bottom of the first. 0-0 game. Senjin didn't like the sign, so he steps off. Now he looks like he's got something that he likes. He winds and delivers. Fastball low. And Fontenez, after being down 0-2 early, works the count back to full. Full count on Fontenez. Here's the pitch. Swings, drives it straight up the middle for a solid ground ball base hit. And Fontenez gets a 2-out hit, giving Cougars a runner on first, with Matt Campbell coming to the plate. So Fontenez did a nice job of working his way back from an 0-2 count, working the count back to full, and then he drives a fastball right back up the middle for a solid single, and Campbell stepped to the plate. Going to have a little bit of a time, come down and talk to the coach. at third base. I think they get the plan of what they want to do. I don't see what the real big strategy is here. I mean, there's two out. Get in the box and swing the bat. Right, so Matt Campbell, simple as that, Adam. Simple as that. So Fontenay stealing, throw down, throws in plenty of time. Big throw by Vigna from behind the plate. Catches Fontenay at second. And that brings an end to the first inning with the score Leechburg 0 and our Kiski Cougars 0. And we will be right back after this short break. So welcome back to want to turn the lights on, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to turn the lights on, so he's talking to the wrong person. I'm the live stream guy. I got the headsets on, you know. But anyways, here we are back at John D. Andrini Field, getting ready for the top of the second. Both teams got good pitching in the first inning. Zufall and Senja both got a runner on base, but both guys were thrown out, stealing. So 3 up and 3 down on both. Oh, I'm sorry, not 3 up and 3 down. So number 5 batter for the Blue Devils will be up. I don't know. I thought it was. I guess I was mistaken, Adam. I was mistaken. I made a mistake, Adam. I made a mistake. I mean, it happens to the best of us, right? So welcome Adam Polish Power Walkowski back into the booth. He had to miss the first inning. He was on a Zoom call with his college and coach football out at Gettysburg. So welcome back, Adam. Number 19, Mason Bertino will step into the box for Leechburg. He sets a ground ball to the shortstop Hahn, and he gets it over to Collins for a quick out. One pitch, one out for Zufall to start the top of the second. And that'll bring up number 37, Garrett Jones. Jones will be playing third or first base for Leechburg tonight. So Zufall continuing to get quick outs, being very efficient with the pitch count. Starts him out with the off-speed pitch. Jones lays off of it, and it's 1 ball and no strike. Just missed the bottom of the zone. Fastball in for a strike, and now the count's evened at 1. More fans are showing up for the Kiski student section. Zufall delivers. Fouled straight back by Jones over the screen. That's going to be way out of play. Zufall gets ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like a lot of the lacrosse guys have joined us in the first base side bleachers. Ball inside to Jones, evens the count at 2. With 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Zufall delivers. Strike right at the lower portion of the zone. He freezes Jones, pins him to the plate, and that's out 2 in the top of the second inning. Zufall. Nice pitch to get Jones looking, and that'll bring up number 13, Jackson Vargo. Takes a strike on the first pitch, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Zufall seems to be on his game tonight. Off-speed pitch. Gets a ground ball to Hahn. He bobbles it, and that's going to let Vargo reach base. So Zufall got a ground ball to the shortstop. Should have been the 3rd out of the inning, but the Cougars shortstop couldn't play it cleanly, and Vargo is able to reach base. Number 18, Brady Rollinger, will be now up to the plate. He stands real deep in the box. He's right on the line. So let's see if Zufall can bail out his defense. Brings an off-speed pitch low for ball 1. It's 1-0. Vargo had a nice lead over there. He's being held on by Collins. Shortened his lead this time. And then Zufall delivers a fastball on the inside corner for a strike, even in the count at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zufall working from the stretch. Holding the runner at first. Off-speed pitch inside. And Rollinger will get ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Vargo gets a little bit bigger of a lead. Stays. And Zufall gets a fastball by Rollinger, who was a little late on his swing. And the count's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Zufall fires. Foul ball. High pop fly. And it's going to get just out of play beyond the screen. And it keeps Rollinger alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. Top of the second inning. 0-0 game. Cy Zufall on the mound. Big lead by Vargo. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and he gets Rollinger to swing over the top as Zufall pulls the string on a slow curve to end the inning with no runs scored. So the error doesn't hurt the Cougars as Zufall is able to work himself out of that inning. And we'll be right back with the bottom of the second right after this short break. So here we are back at John D. Andrini Field, getting ready for the bottom of the second inning. Cougars coming to bat, 0-0 game, and we're going to have Matt Campbell, Brandon Abreu, and Fielding Strauss, number 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Cougars, coming up the plate. Runner got thrown out on a steal, misuse. We know you're still learning baseball too. We got to teach you and Adam at the same time. So if the runner got thrown out stealing, the batter gets to come back up. Yeah, because he didn't make the out. So he's still up. And he gets to start his count over. Right? So everything's wiped. So 0. Okay, all right. So Miss Hughes just dabbles in some slow pitch. Campbell drives a deep fly to left field, but Rollinger is right there camped under it. And he makes an easy, or I'm sorry, that's not Rollinger, that's Bertino. So Bertino, I got mixed up. Bertino makes the catch. Bertino makes the catch out there after a long drive by Campbell. And now Brandon Abreu takes a low strike at the knees but from Senjin. And it's no balls and one strike. Ball outside, 1-1. Fouled off by Abreu, and the count's now 1-2. So Abreu steps back in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Senjin shook off the first sign, and now he gets his pitch. Went with the off speed, but Abreu lays off, and that brings the count to 2-2. And there's swings through that pitch, and that's a strikeout for Senjin, and that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. So now number 9, third baseman Fielding Strauss comes to the plate for the Cougars. Fielding batting 6th in the lineup for the Cougars tonight. He steps deep into the box. Senjin delivers. Strauss, line drive, and that's going to get into the center field over the second baseman's head for a solid single from Fielding Strauss. 2-out single from Strauss gives the Cougars a runner on first with Wade Collins stepping to the plate. So number 9, Fielding Strauss, gets his lead from first after a nice looping line drive single. Collins takes a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. These umpires' zones are not very consistent. Strauss gets a big lead. Collins fouls it over the screen, and that'll even the count at 1. Strauss is gone, and they throw to pick him off. Throw down to second, but Strauss gets in there ahead of the throw. Strauss went early, kind of caught the defense off guard. And by time Senjin threw over to first, Strauss had a big enough lead and advantage that he got the stolen base before Jones could get the throw down to the shortstop, Henry. So Collins swings through the strike, and now it's 1-2. Strauss is going to get his lead. He's in scoring position. Collins sends a drive to center field, but the center fielder's camped right under it. Floyd to make the 3rd out of the inning. Collins send it deep fly ball, but Floyd got under it easily. A lot of hang time, and Floyd tracked it down for the 3rd out. Bring a close to that inning, and it's still 0-0. Come on back for the top of the 3rd right after this short break. Welcome back to John D. Andretti Field here for the top of the third. And the pitcher, and now batting for Leechburg, the pitcher, number 21, Steven Sengen, takes a ball inside on the first pitch. And now there's a ball low, and it's 2-0 on the leadoff man, Sengen. Hey, Coach, pull up a chair. There's one over there. Coach Quietek joining us here in the booth now. We got quite the crowd tonight. Come on in, Coach. So now the count is 3-0. And there's the pitch. Popped up on the infield. Gates looks like he's under it. And he is. And Sengen bailed out. Zufall there swinging at a 3-0 pitch. Popping it up to the second baseman, Gates. And that's the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Blue Devils with Chase Henry, the shortstop, number 3. He takes a fastball. Ooh, where was that pitch? I don't know. He called it a ball. Must have been outside a little bit. I'm not sure. Looked pretty good to me. And here's the pitch. And there's a strike. I don't know. It's hard to tell in and out from here. You know, you're on the side. We're looking from the side. You don't know if that ball's in or out. You can tell the height, but you can't tell the in and out from here. You know. So it's 1-1 count, 1 out. Zufall delivers. Ball inside. Henry spins out of the way. Almost caught him. But it's 2-1 on the count. Ground ball to the second baseman, Gates. Over to Collins, and that's 2 out. So Gates handles the ball for both outs so far. And now number 32, Jake Cummings, will come to the plate for the Blue Devils. He'll step in on the left side. Zufall gets him to swing at the first pitch, and he sends a high fly ball. And Fontenez trots under it easily. That's the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Pretty efficient inning for Zufall once again. And the Cougars will be coming to bat in the bottom of the third right after this short break. So here we are back for the bottom of the third at John D. Andretti Field. And number 16, Gabe Corman, right fielder, will be leading off the inning for the Cougars. Steven Sengen still on the mound for the Blue Devils. He's worked pretty quickly also. It's been a pretty nice pitcher's duel so far. Corman swings at the first pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, Henry. And he gets it over to the first baseman, Jones, in plenty of time for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up second baseman, Logan Gates. So St. John continuing to cruise right along. Quick outs. Let's see if Gates can get something started here for the Cougars. He steps in on the left side. St. John, he delivers. Gates, ground ball, and that'll squeak through into right field. So Gates reaches out and sends the first pitch into right field. Ground ball gets past the second baseman. And Gates gets on base with a one-out single. The Cougars got something going with the top of the order. Tyler Hahn stepping into the box. Gates gets a nice lead over there at first. Jones is holding him on, and St. John sends a throw over, having Gates get back. No slide required. Fastball from St. John, belt high on the inner half of the plate for a strike. He's up 0-1 on Tyler Hahn. I think he said that's 2. So yeah, he said that's 2, meaning strike 2. So it's 0-2 on the count. I don't know. There's a pitch, and Hahn swings through it. And St. John gets Hahn swinging for the second out of the inning. Hahn not able to advance the runner into scoring position. And now there's 2 out with Zufall at the plate for the Cougars. Swings at a high pitch, way out of the zone. And Zufall helps out his counterpart, St. John. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Lets an off-speed pitch go. I don't know, it must have been a little outside. Looked good on the height, but it's 1-1 on the count. So St. John from the stretch. And he delivers. Fouled back by Zufall. And it's 1-2. Neither team has really done anything as far as threatening and getting a guy into scoring position. It's been a pretty good pitcher's duel so far. Let's see if Zufall can get a hit. Sends a ground ball, but that's scooped up by the second baseman, Vargo. And he gets it over to Jones for the third out of the inning. And that brings a close to the third with the score still tied, 0-0. And we'll be back for the top of the fourth right after this short break. So we're back here at John D. Andrini Field, getting ready for the fourth inning. Low scoring game, pitcher's duel between the Kiski Cougars And visiting Leechburg Blue Devils, Zufall and Senjin cruising on the mound for their respective teams. And David's playing some Rush again. That's the second Rush song you've played tonight, David. Do you like Rush, David? Oh, you only have those two songs, so you don't even have any of the good stuff. You have Limelight and Tom Sawyer. Those are mediocre Rush songs. I will introduce you to some real good Rush songs if you'd like, but the ones that I like are not really the ones that most people like. I like the deep cuts at there, David. So to the plate, number 15, Jaden Floyd. He reached in the first inning. Ooh, and he takes one right off the back. Curveball that didn't curve, and it got him in the back. Tried to spin out of the way, but was not able to. And the Blue Devils are going to have the leadoff runner on. So this is the first time that we've had a runner on with no out. And number 10, cleanup hitter Rocco Vigna steps to the plate for the Blue Devils. Easy throw over from Zufall. They're just trying to check Floyd back. Sometimes after you get hit on the first, after you get hit, you like to steal on the first pitch just to make them pay regret for hitting you, for putting you on base, right? But Floyd stayed put and didn't go anywhere. And that ball was called a ball. First pitch was called a ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes on the hitter Vigna. Zufall delivers. Doesn't get the call on the inside pitch, and it's now 2-0. So Floyd takes his lead, being held on by Collins. Zufall checks him. Vigna swings through, swings and fouls a high fastball back to the screen, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ground ball to Strauss. He gets it. Goes to second for the out. Gets the lead runner. Good play by Strauss to get it to Gates just in time to get the lead runner, Floyd. Floyd was hustling down to second and made that play a lot closer than it needed to be. Slow chopper to the third baseman, so there was no chance of a double play as Vigna runs pretty well, and he was well down the first base line before they had a chance of turning it. So that'll bring up the left fielder, Mason Bertino. Vigna had a big lead. Dives back in on the throw over from Zufall. Was able to get in there easily before Collins could put the tag on him. Zufall gets his sign. And there's the pitch. Ooh, didn't get that call. Looks like the zone's getting a little tight. So Campbell held it there looking to get the strike call, but the ump wasn't buying what he was selling, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Zufall delivers, fouled back over the first base grandstand, and it's 1-1 on the hitter Bertino. Vigna at first after a fielder's choice. Dives back in on the throw over from Zufall. Makes it back in safely. Count still 1-1. 1 out. No score here in the top of the fourth. There goes the runner. Throw down from Campbell. Not in time, and it actually gets by the second baseman, Yates, but backed up by shortstop Hahn, keeping Vigna from advancing another base. Vigna had that base stolen pretty easily. And it puts a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight with Bertino up in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Ball inside, and that puts Bertino up 3 balls and 1 strike. Big situation here. It's the first time all game that we've had any kind of scoring situation. Let's see if Zufall can deliver and get himself out of this. Ball low and outside, and that's going to put Bertino on with a walk, giving the Blue Devils runners at first and second with 1 out. Not that bad of a move. I mean, you don't like having another guy on, but it sets up a force at first, second, and third there, so it's not that bad of a situation. You're actually in a better situation than when you was than just having a guy at second, okay? So even though you have an extra guy on. So here's the first baseman, Jones, up to bat. Zufall delivers. Ground ball right back at him. And he's just going to take the easy out at first. Okay, easy out at first, and that's 2 out, and that's 2 out in the inning. So both runners advance, and now the Blue Devils have 2 in scoring position. Vigna at third, Bertino at second. Second baseman Jackson Vargo at the plate. 2 out. Fastball, strike 1 from Zufall. Looked like he put a little extra on that one to get ahead in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Zufall from the stretch. Goes high. Changes the eye level of the batter, Vargo. And it's 1-1. See if Zufall can work himself out of trouble here. 2 guys in scoring position with 2 out. Gets Vargo to swing over the top of an off-speed pitch. Was out in front a little bit. And now it's 1-2. Zufall 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. Big situation here. And here's the delivery. Off-speed pitch just inside. And now the count's 2-2. First base is open. So a walk wouldn't hurt anything, but we still got another ball before we get to that situation. 2-2, 2 out. Top of the fourth, 0-0 game. And here's the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman, Gates. He fields it cleanly. He gets it over to Collins, and Zufall does get out of trouble, preventing Leechburg Blue Devils from putting a run on the board, keeping it at a 0-0 game with the Cougars coming up in the bottom of the fourth right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field, getting set for the bottom of the fourth inning. Real tight pitcher's duel going on here between the Leechburg Blue Devils and our Kiski Cougars. 0-0. Heart of the order coming up for the Cougars. Number 3, 4, and 5, Eli Fontanez, Matthew Campbell, and Brandon Abreu due up. Let's see if the Cougars can finally get something action going. Remember last time, Adam, I said we need a little action, make the defense, put a little pressure on the defense, and we could score some runs. And as soon as I said that, we scored 2 that inning and then 3 the next to come back and win, right? So I think maybe I just said it again. So maybe that's the good luck, right? No, it's not jinxing. I'm not jinxing it, right? Jinxing would mean that we're putting a bad on, right? Right. If I say something and it happens, that's not jinxing it. If I say something, right, and then it doesn't happen, then yeah, right. And then if it didn't happen, then I'd be jinxing it. Right? But I'm not jinxing anything, right? So Fontenez, center fielder, going to lead off for the Cougars. Fontenez had a sharp single through the middle in the top of the first inning to have one of the Cougars' hits on the day. I think that might actually be the only Cougar hit. No, Gates had a hit also, so one of the 2 Cougar hits on the day. St. John starts him off with a fastball that he fouls back over the screen. And the count's no balls and 1 strike. Curveball does break in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Last time up, Fontenez was behind 0-2. Also worked the count back to full, and then before singling up the middle. So let's see if he can do the same. Sets a lazy fly ball to the left fielder, Bertino. No, that's not Bertino. Or is it? 19. Yes, that is Bertino out there. So left fielder Bertino catches the fly ball from Fontenez. And that's 1 out in the top or bottom of the 4th. Matt Campbell, the catcher, number 2, steps to the plate for the Cougars. Swings at the first pitch up in his, it was a little high there, but he fouls it off out of play. Kind of helped the pitcher out, swinging at 1 outside the zone there. And it counts no balls and 1 strike. So Campbell steps back in, takes ball low, even in the count at 1-1. Campbell's delivered some big hits the past few games for the Cougars. Let's see if he can get a hit to get something started here. Ball was low, and now the count is 2-1. Campbell's ahead in the count. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning, and a pitcher's duel. Zufall and St. John going back and forth on the mound. St. John delivers. Campbell takes high, and he works a 3-ball, 1 strike count. So he's ahead in the count. He's got a good hitter's count, and let's see if he can get a pitch to hit. Takes a ball low, and he works the walk. So the Cougars have a guy on. And now Brandon Abreu, left fielder, is going to step to the plate. So Campbell is going to be held on by Jones over there at first. He gets a decent lead. Now he gets a bigger lead. Doesn't go anywhere. And the ball is delivered high for ball 1 on Abreu. St. John's going to have to work from the stretch. Very few times today has he been in the stretch. So let's see if the Cougars can. Oh, he throws over and Campbell dives back. Oh, Campbell pulled his hand off the bag before the first baseman actually threw it. You see that, Coach? No, he didn't call time. That was a strike at the bottom of the zone, and it's 1-1. Abreu in the box. Campbell shortened his lead a little bit there, and Abreu fouls one back off the screen, and it's 1-2. One out. Bottom of the fourth. Cougars have a guy at first. There's the pitch. Abreu fouls it down the right field line, but that's going to work its way out of play. Keeping the count at 1-2 strikes. So Abreu's going to step into the box. 1-2 strike count. St. John got his sign. He delivers. Ball high. And the count's even at 2-2. Campbell remains at first base after a 1-out walk. And he's being held on by Jones. Abreu sits a hard line drive, just fouled down the left field line. And it was more than just foul. It was probably fouled by like 10 feet, but have to have to play it up a little bit for the people who couldn't really see it, right? But he had a nice line drive. It looks like he's on it. And it's 2-2 on the count, 1 out. Campbell still at first. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. He was out in front, but he just got it off the end of the bat, sending it foul. Staying alive at 2-2 strikes. Abreu is a tough guy to strike out. He doesn't strike out a lot. He usually puts the bat on the ball. When he does strike out, it's because he gets caught looking. So let's see what he can do here. 2-2 strikes. There's the delivery. Ball inside. Good eye by Abreu. Working the pitcher well here, and it's a full count at 3-2 strikes. 1 out. Campbell still at first. He gets a big lead, and he's going. Ball down. Oh, it was called strike. Overthrow. Nope. Stay where you're at. But Abreu, he called him out. He called him out. That was a strike. That was a strike. He called him a strike. That was strike 3. That was strike 3. So Abreu gets called out on the low strike call. It was at the bottom of the zone. It was borderline. Umpire called it on a strike. Campbell still second. Doesn't advance on the overthrow. Don't think he found the ball. And now he's at second. Strauss up to the plate. Strauss actually had a single last time up. So it's 0-1 on Strauss, and he fouls back to the screen, and it's 0-2, 2 out. Cougars have a guy in scoring position for the first time today. Campbell's going to get a lead. Shortstop Henry playing in behind him, but Strauss single to left, and Campbell's going to round third. Throw from Bertino to the plate in plenty of time. Bertino with a strong throw to the catcher, Vigna, and that cuts Campbell down at the plate, bringing an end to the inning and keeping this game scoreless, 0-0, heading into the fifth. And we'll be back right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Heading into the top of the fifth in a pitcher's duel. Cy Zufall for the Cougars and Steven Senja for the Blue Devils, putting on quite a pitching performance. Both got out of jams in the fourth inning. Zufall got out of a second and third with 2 out jam, getting a third out on a strikeout. And Senja got bailed out by his left fielder, Bertino, who cut down the runner trying to score from second on a sharp single. Bertino with a strong throw to the catcher, Vigna. And they got the runner, Campbell, out by a good 10 feet at the plate. So that's really the only 2 scoring opportunities or close to scoring opportunities throughout the game as both pitchers cruise through the first 3. So Zufall will continue to throw in the top of the fifth inning. And number 18, Brady Rollinger, right fielder, will lead off for the Blue Devils. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1, and it's 1-0 on the count. Rollinger stands deep on the line in the box. Takes a strike at the letters. And Zufall is able to even the count at 1-1 with the high strike call. He delivers. I don't know where that pitch was because it looked nicer than the other pitch, but I don't know. I'm gonna stop guessing these umpires because that was a nice pitch. So it's 2-1. Zufall delivers. There's a strike. Again, the pitch before was nicer than that one. So I don't know if he's calling balls strikes and strikes balls or what he's doing here, but it's 2-2 either way. Curveball gets Rollinger to swing over the top. Campbell dug it out of the dirt and was able to tag Rollinger in the box to complete the strikeout. And that's the first out here in the top of the fifth. So here comes the number 9 hitter, pitcher Steven Session. He sends a high fly ball into the gap, and center fielder Fontenez can't track it down, and Session is in second with a stand-up double after a long fly ball into the left center field gap. A lot of room to run out there. And honestly, if the fence was where it was in the past, that was probably a home run. So not having a fence anymore probably saved the Cougars a run there and only gives Senjin a double. But either way, it puts the runner in scoring position for the Blue Devils with the top of the order, shortstop Henry, coming up to bat. Looks like they have a pinch runner, Mason. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name again, Miss Hughes. You pronounced it earlier, and I can't remember how you said it. So Mason's at second. Fastball not called at the top of the zone. And it's 1-0 on the batter, Skiddacat, or something like that. So Henry fouls one back, and it's 1-1. Skiddacat, that's it, Skiddacat, yeah. Is out at second base as the pinch runner, and he's getting a healthy lead. Henry, Zufall is taking his time, delivers. Curveball inside. Henry lays off, and it's 2-1. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Henry. Runner in scoring position with one out here in the top of the fifth. First base open, a lot of room down the right field line. Strike. Pumped in by Zufall to even the count at 2. Didn't look like Henry agreed with that call, but again, zone's been a little all over the place. 2-2 on the count. Zufall delivers. Ground ball to the second baseman, Gates, and it gets between his legs, and they're going to send Skidacat, and Gates can't pick it up. He fumbles it, and Skidacat is going to come around for the first run of the day, giving the Blue Devils a 1-0 lead. So ground ball to Gates. Would have advanced the runner to third, but it misplays it through his legs. And by the time he finds it and tries to pick it up, Skidacat it around third, and he scored. Blue Devils up 1-0. Henry leads off first with Cummings, the third baseman, standing in. Takes a ball high, and it's 1-0. So the Cougars defense kind of put him in a bad spot. There's Zufall, went off speed, got one at the knees for a strike. Counts even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Henry leads off first. He gets a decent lead held on by Collins. Another curveball just off the outside, and it's 2-1. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Cummings. Bigger lead from Henry. Fouled off at the plate. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the batter, Cummings. Runner at first base with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Blue Devils has just scored to make it a 1-0 game. Oh, ball high, just out of the zone. Brings the count to full at 3-2. Zufall looks like he might be tiring a little bit. And it's a full count, 1 out to the batter, Cummings. There goes the runner. That's ball 4. That's ball 4, and he would have had second anyways. Didn't have to throw down. Runner advances. No stolen base there. Runner advances on the walk to Cummings, and giving the Blue Devils runners at first and second. Still only 1 out with the center fielder, Jaden Floyd, up to bat. This is the heart of the order for the Blue Devils. And Floyd takes high for ball 1. And Cougar coach is going to call a timeout. He's going to go out and talk to the pitcher. He's going to have a one-on-one conversation with him. 1-0 count on the batter, Floyd, with the Blue Devils having runners at first and second here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 lead as that run just came around to score after 4 shutout innings from both pitchers. So 1-0 count on Floyd, and Zufall comes set in the stretch. Nobody being held on. I don't know where that pitch is at, but again, called for a ball, and it's 2-0 on the count. Time called by Floyd, and he's going to step out of the box and get reset. Zufall from the stretch. Line drive into the right center field gap, and that's going to score some runs. Corman runs it down. One run scores with Henry coming in from second on a one-run double by Jaden Floyd. Cummings goes from first to third on the double. And that gives the Blue Devils a 2-0 lead. Solid line drive into the gap by Floyd. Brings Henry home easily from second. And it gives the Blue Devils two in scoring position with still only one out here in the top of the fifth inning with the cleanup hitter Vigna up to bat. He takes high for ball one. First base is open with one out. Let's see what the Cougars elect to do here. I think they might maybe pitch around this guy. No, he goes right after him and blows a fastball in the top of the zone by him to even the count at 1-1. So Zufall's attacking the hitter, trying to work out of it on his own. The other option would be put him on and get a force out at every base, but he's going to attack the hitter. Off-speed pitch, soft line drive to Hahn. Runner at third had to hold, but the throw is bounced to the first baseman who can't hold on to it. And the runner does come home from third to score the third run of the inning for the Blue Devils. And the defense has really faltered for the Cougars. And they're now down 3-0 and should be out of the inning. Still only one out. Runners on the corners. And now Bertino up. Bertino had a big play in the field to end the bottom of the fourth, throwing out the runner at home to prevent the Cougars from getting on the board and keeping the score at 0. And it looks like the Blue Devils have taken advantage of that little bit of momentum the defense supplied for them. And they have scored 3 here in the top of the fifth. And now have 2 in scoring position with still only one out. The number 5 hitter Bertino at the plate ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Zufall gets set. Delivers high, and it's 2-0. Looks like Zufall is really struggling. He's going to take time and tie his shoe. I think he's probably just taking a little time to gather himself here. Catch his breath a little bit. He's been working hard this inning. His defense really hasn't bailed him out any. He's thrown a lot of pitches, and I would imagine after this, can't have too many more hitters in him. It's a lot of pitches to throw in one inning. And with only one out, I don't see him lasting much longer. 2-0 delivery. High, and it's 3-0. So it's a 3-0 count. Still one out. Strike as Bertino was taken all the way on the 3-0 count. Zufall laid one down the middle, and it's 3-1. Runners at second and third with one out. Swings through a low fastball, and now the count's full at 3-2. Zufall steps off. Didn't like what he saw, so he stepped off. Now he's back on the rubber, getting the signs from the catcher, Campbell. Comes set. There's the delivery. High pop up, straight up in the air. See if Campbell can locate it. He does. He did catch it. He did catch it. It was on the transfer. – It was on the transfer. We he caught the ball. He caught the ball. So Campbell did catch the ball. Ball popped out of his glove, but it was way after the catch had been completed. And that's 2 out now. Runner still at second and third for the Blue Devils, and Jones up to bat. Takes a ball outside, and it's 1-0. So Zufall gets a big out there with only 1 out and 2 in scoring position with the pop up by Bertino to the catcher Campbell. And now he's ahead, evened in the count, 1-1. Foul tip. Caught a piece of the catcher and then a piece of the umpire, knocking the umpire's mask off. So the count is 1-1 now on the batter Jones. Good job by the catcher Campbell, giving our umpire a little bit of time after taking that foul ball off the mask. 1-1 delivery by Zufall. Curveball in for a strike, and it's 1-2. So let's see if Zufall can finally get out of this inning and limit the damage to only 3 with 2 out here, 1-2 count. Fastball didn't get the call, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third, bottom of the or top of the 5th inning, and he gets him to swing through the high fastball for strike 3, and that finally brings an end to the top of the 5th. But not after the Blue Devils were able to cross the plate 3 times and break that scoreless tie, giving them a 3-0 lead. And the Cougars will be up to bat in the bottom of the 5th right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field here at Kiski. Cougars trailing heading into the bottom of the 5th, 3-0 against visiting Leechburg Blue Devils. Leechburg was able to just cross the plate 3 times in the top of the 5th to break open a scoreless game. Steven Senja has been pretty solid on the mound for the Blue Devils. Got bailed out by his defense last inning with a throw from the left fielder cutting down a runner at the plate to end the inning and preventing the Cougars from cashing in on a scoring opportunity. So here's Wade Collins to lead off the inning for the Cougars, and he takes low for ball one. Collins sent a deep drive to the center fielder earlier in the game, but it hung up there just enough for center fielder to run under it. He sent a deep drive. It was probably, if there was a fence, that might have been close to being out also. So there's a deep drive, but it's Bertino in left position perfectly. And Collins has had two deep fly balls, but both right at the fielders. And he has nothing to show for it as he's 0 for 2. So Bertino playing pretty deep, and that would have been close to the fence also. But again, we don't have a fence. So that brings up Gabe Corman, right fielder for the Cougars, and he takes high for ball one. Let's see if Corman can get something started for the Cougars. He sends a ground ball to the shortstop, Henry. He scoops it up, throws it over to Jones, completes the second out of the inning for the Blue Devils. So Logan Gates, second baseman, will step to the plate now for the Cougars. Gates hit a single between the first and second baseman a couple innings back. See if he can stay hot at the plate. Sends a pop up straight up into the air. Looks like the second baseman, Fargo, makes the catch, and that's a quick inning for St. John. He got three. His offense scored him three, and he went down and went out and had a shutdown inning. Not only a shutdown inning, but a quick one at that. And that puts an end to the fifth with the Cougars trailing Leechburg 3-0. And we'll be back with the sixth inning right after this short break. So here we are back at John D. Andrini Field, and the second baseman, Vargo, sends the first pitch to the shortstop, Hahn, who sends it over to Collins for the first out of the inning. That's a quick out for Zufall. Zufall still on the mound for the Cougars. So Vargo swings at the first pitch. Now that brings up Rollinger, right fielder. He takes a strike right down the middle. And Zufall looks like he's got back on track. No balls, one strike count. And here's a foul ball. Went right through the catcher and hit the umpire in the midsection. I don't know how the catcher missed that one, but I know when I was an umpire, those ones were not fun. And the catcher usually would get a little talking to in his ear after something like that would happen. But it's no balls and 2 strikes. Zufall ahead in the count. Sends a high fastball, and Rollinger lays off, not even thinking about swinging at that. And it's 1-2. 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. Zufall. Strike 3 on Rollinger. Zufall starts the 6th inning with 2 quick outs. Just a little bit ago, I said Zufall finally got, or looks like he got back on track. I don't know if he was ever off track. His defense kind of let him down in the last inning, so I don't know if Zufall was off track or if it was his defense that was off track, right? So Zufall starts Senjin off with a strike. Senjin started last inning with a single, or yeah, it was a double right into the gap. And he scored the first run for the Blue Devils. He takes a ball low for 1-1 count. 2 out here in the top of the 6th. I don't know. Looks like Campbell took one off of his fingers. Supposed to catch it with your glove, not your bare hand, but I don't know. You know, hey, what do I know? He's all right. He's he's shaking it off. He's all right. Come on, Matt. So Campbell gets back behind the plate. Senjin's in the box, and Zufall's going to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Campbell can't hang on to it. And it's a 2-1 count. Looked like a nice pitch. Campbell's still shaking his hand. Looks like he got something jammed there. I'm not real sure. 2-1 count on the hitter Senjin. Fouled at the plate. And it's 2-2. 2 out. Top of the 6th. Cougars trailing 3-0. Need to get a quick out here, and let's get in there and get the bats going. So Zufall delivers. Curveball. Just misses low. Senjin laid off, and it's a full count at 3-2. So 2 out, full count. Line drive to the right fielder. Corman takes a couple steps in. He was positioned nicely. The line drive right at him. He makes the 3rd out of the inning. So Zufall recovers after a rocky 3rd and shuts down the Blue Devils 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th, keeping the Cougars within striking distance. And we'll be back with the bottom of the 6th right after this short break. So welcome back here to John D. Andrini Field. Cougars coming to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 3-0 against Leechburg Blue Devils. Steven Senjin still on the mound for the Blue Devils, and he's cruised through the first 5 innings. Had a little bit of a scoring threat last inning, but Or maybe that was 2 innings ago. Yeah, 2 innings ago. So top of the order up for the Cougars and Tyler Hahn, and he takes high for ball one. So Cougars have the top of the order up. Let's see if they can get something going. Takes high for ball two, and it's 2-0. Senjin doesn't get the call there. Looked like a borderline at the knees, maybe a little low. And it's 3-0. Hahn's ahead in the count. Takes a strike. Center cut. He was taken all the way on 3-0. Cougars need some base runners. No sense of swinging on 3-0 in the bottom of the sixth when you're down 3-0. You know what I mean, Adam? That was just not good baseball strategy if he would have swung at that pitch. Curveball in for strike two. And now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Senjin delivers. Curveball. High fly ball by Hahn. And it's tracked down by Floyd out in center field. Backed up nicely by Rollinger. Floyd had plenty of time to get under that high fly ball by Hahn. There's one down here in the bottom of the sixth. Pitcher Cy Zufall now batting for the Cougars. And he takes low for ball one. Zufall's been the pitcher for the Cougars today. He's thrown 6 solid innings. Takes a strike, and the count's even, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out and bottom of the sixth. Cougars looking to rally. Zufall takes high, and it's 2-1. Cougars rallied from 4 down last week in the 6th innings, coming away with a victory. Let's see if they can do the same tonight. Zufall now ahead in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Meat of the order, Fontanez, Campbell, and Abreu waiting on deck. Zufall swings through one. Catcher wasn't able to hang on to it. But it's now 3 balls and 2 strike, full count. 1 out, bottom of the sixth. Ooh. That ball was called a strike. And Zufall goes down on strikes. And it's two out. And there's a strike on Fontanez. 0-1 on Fontanez. Ball high. And it's 1-1. Ball up. And now it's 2-1. 2 out, bottom of the sixth. Cougars have been pretty silent all day. Fontanez does have a single. It's 2-1 count. Fontanez takes, and it's 3-1. 3-1 count on Fontenez. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. There's the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman off his glove. So Vargo can't handle the ground ball. And Fontenez reaches on a 2-out error by the second baseman Vargo. So the Cougars still have life in this inning, and Campbell is now up to bat. 2 out, Fontenez at second base. Campbell takes high and in for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Campbell worked a walk the last time he was up. There's a pitch inside, and it's now 2-0. So 2-0 count on Campbell with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Fontenez, the runner at first, being held on by Jones. Squared around the bunt, but pulls back, and the ball is low for a 3-0 count. Fielding Strauss, the hitter. No, Brandon Abreu is the hitter on deck for the Cougars. Campbell takes a strike, and it's 3-1. Sengen from the stretch delivers. Campbell right back at him. Throw is bobbled by the shortstop, Henry. And the Cougars have 2 on. That was a mistake by the pitcher, Sengen. I don't think he realized how many outs there were. He could have had an easy out at first base, elected to throw to second. The ball was low, couldn't shortstop Henry was not able to dig it out. And that gives the Cougars runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. So it looks like the Blue Devils are going to make a pitching change. And Henry, the shortstop, is going to come in and take over on the mound. Just wait until everything's settled, David, okay? Just wait. So we're going to have a couple position changes. But Steven Sengen will exit the mound after 6 2/3 solid innings, giving up, as of now, 0 runs. With Fontenez reaching on the error, all these runs would be unearned anyways if they would score. Matthew, please. So the Cougars are going to have runners on first and second with Abreu in the box and Henry now pitching. Abreu sends a ground ball right back to Henry, and he's going to run it over and then flip it to Jones and get out of the inning for the Blue Devils, keeping the Cougars off the board and keeping the score at 3-0. So top of the 7th coming up right after this short break. So here we are back at John D. Andrini Field, getting set for the top of the 7th inning with our Kiski Cougars trailing Leechburg Blue Devils 3-0. Cy Zufall has been on the mound for all 6 innings so far for the Cougars, and he's on the mound looking like he's going to continue in the top of the 7th. Blue Devils got 5 2/3 solid innings out of Steven Sinjin. And then Chase Henry came in to finish out the 6th for the Blue Devils. And he'll probably be out there in the top or in the bottom of the 7th to close the door, try to earn a save. So Zufall is at 94 on his pitch count. Cougars still have Abreu, Fontanez, and Corman left to right in the outfield. Looks like we have a little bit of a defensive change to where Fielding Strauss is still at third. It looks like Matthew Campbell will go from behind the plate and now be at shortstop. Logan Gates will remain at second base. Wade Collins remains at first base. And David, wait until I am done on here before you interrupt on there. Please. Okay? Please. Because you're coming over me on here. Okay? Well, you are. Because you keep, every time I'm saying something, you keep saying something over me. So when I'm talking, just wait. Wait for me to stop, and then you can say it. Okay? So Henry steps in for the Blue Devils. Zufall delivers low for ball 1. Ball high, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes on the leadoff hitter, Henry. Ball inside, and now it's 3-0. So Henry, leadoff hitter for the Blue Devils, ahead in the count 3-0, and he takes one down the middle to make the count 3-1. Top of the 7th, Cougars trailing 3-0. Curveball in for a strike, and now the count's full at 3-2. Zufall's battled back after 3 straight balls to open the at bat. Fouled back over the screen by Henry, and the count remains full. He winds and delivers. Curveball, and he gets Henry way out in front as he pulls the string on the off-speed pitch. And I think that'll be an end to Zufall's night as he's reached his pitch limit. And that's the first out here in the top of the. We'll see it, Coach. That's the first out here in the top of the seventh. And the Cougars are going to have to make a pitching change. So, not sure who we're bringing in. Looks like Fontenez may be coming out from center field onto the mound. We'll see. We're not sure yet. So there's going to be a couple people moving around. I'm not sure who's going to be where, and we'll just wait until it all shakes out before we make some announcements. But Fontenez is going to take the mound for the Cougars. Try to finish out this. Well, he'll finish out this game. There's one out in the top of the sixth, or top of the seventh. I'm sorry, excuse me on that. So Zufall goes 6 1/3, gives up 3 runs, none of them earned. So Zufall overall has a nice night on the mound. Just didn't get bailed out at all by his defense. Couple mistakes defensively led to 3 Blue Devil runs. So Fontenez will warm up, and he's throwing the Hahn behind the plate. It looks like Zufall is going to slide into second base, and Gates will probably go from second out to center field. But again, we'll wait and see until they spread out to see if that's exactly how the alignment's going to go. We're not real sure yet. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us out there on our live stream. We have a nice crowd here in the stadium here at John D. Andrini Field. All you parents out there, Mr. Mrs. Fontenez out there in New York. You boys getting ready to throw some pitches here. Mr. and Mrs. Campbell, you're also out there in New York somewhere. I know y'all watching and listening. Mrs. Collins out there in State College, I'm sure she's probably watching, huh, Miss Hughes? She's a regular. Mrs. Corman, can't forget Gabe's mom. Gabe's mom out there. Hope you're listening. So Fontenez delivers. Ball low. Blocked by Hahn. It's 1-0. Fontenez delivers. He's low on the second delivering, and it's 2-0. 25 viewers. All right. That might be a record for live, huh? For baseball live. Yeah. We're glad all 25 of you are out there. So Fontenez does bring in a strike, and now it's 2-1. Good pitch by Fontenez to get back into the count. 2 balls, 1 strike on the hitter Cummings. High chopper played by Hahn in front of the plate. Throws it down to first baseman. He called that foul. Okay, he called a foul. Must have hit double hit the bat or something while he was in the batter's box. I didn't really see it, but foul ball called on that. So it's 2-2 on the count. So Cummings still alive. Fontenez will deliver. He's taking a long look in for his signs. Finally finds one that he likes, and there's the delivery. Curveball catches. Cummings looking. And that's the strikeout for the second out of the inning. Nice curveball off speed pitch by Fontenez. Battled back after falling down. 2 balls and no strikes in the count. Works back and gets the strikeout of Cummings for the second out of the inning. 2 out in the top of the 7th. Floyd, the batter for Leechburg, center fielder. He's had a big day out in the field, hauling in quite a few fly balls driven deep from the Cougars. He's also had a productive day at the plate. Floyd delivered a line drive double his last time up, scoring a run. Now Fontenez with the 1-0 gets a high pop up. Hahn chasing after it, and he makes the catch right in front of the third base dugout. And the Cougars get out of the inning. So Fontenez comes in and gets both batters that he faces to put an end to the inning. And the Cougars are going to need to rally from 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. And we'll come back with that action right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field here at Kiski. Cougars trailing 3-0, heading into the bottom of the 7th, looking for a little late inning rally. Cougars came away with a late inning rally last week, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 7th to pull out a win against Brashear Bulls. They're going to need 4 here. They're going to need 3 to tie it, 4 to win it. And we got Fielding Strauss up to lead off for the Cougars. Strauss, followed by Collins and Corman, and then Gates if anybody gets on. So Cougars looking for a big rally. Henry's going to stay on the mound for the Blue Devils, looking to close it out and earn the save for the Blue Devils. So Strauss digs in. He sets deep into the box. Fastball, ground ball sharply hit to the second baseman, Fargo, and he handles it for a quick out. That's 1 up and 1 down, and Henry has come in and thrown 2 pitches and gotten 2 outs. So the Cougars aren't being very patient with Henry and trying to wait him out. But that brings up Wade Collins. He's been retired on 2 long fly balls, one to the center fielder, Floyd, and one to the left fielder, Bertino. And there's a curveball by Henry to bring the count to 1-1. Pitch by Henry. Curveball short in the dirt. Collins takes it for ball 2. There had been a couple defensive changes for the Blue Devils. The pitcher, or third baseman, is Steven Sengen. He was the pitcher, and he went to third base. Collins takes, and now it's 3-1. It looked like the third baseman went to left field, and the left fielder Bertino came in to play shortstop. Collins checks his swing, but ball's called a strike, and that brings the count full to 3-2. Henry rocks and fires. Collins sends a fly ball deep down the right field line, but it's going to twist out of play into the trees. High fly ball, twisting foul. Collins is hitting some long fly balls tonight. Hasn't had any results to show for it, though. Full count. Collins takes high, and it will give the Cougars a base runner here in the the bottom of the seventh. So Collins works a nice at bat, draws the full count walk from Henry, keeping the Cougars in the game and bringing Gabe Corman up to bat. Collins leads off first. Corman takes a curveball from Henry in for strike one. The count's no balls and one strike. Corman got the rally started last game in the seventh. Let's see if he can get a hit here. Fastball, lower half of the zone, called for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Corman. Henry seems to have settled down. Big gap on the right side as the first baseman's holding on Collins at first. Corman fouls one, hits off of the grandstand on the first base side, out of play, and the count remains no balls and two strikes. Corman digs in. Henry's going to work from the stretch. Collins with a big lead. Fastball right by Corman, and he was frozen, and that's 2 out in the bottom of the seventh. Now for the Cougars, Logan Gates, last chance for the Cougars, down 3, pickoff throw to first. Collins gets back just in time. Opted not to slide, but it was close. So Henry delivers to Gates. Ball gets past the catcher, and it's going to let Collins advance into scoring position, and it counts 1-0 on Gates. Catcher Vigna couldn't hang on to that. Bounced right off the outer webbing of his glove and allowed Collins to advance 90 feet and get into scoring position. Ball down to Gates brings the count to 2-0. Two out, bottom of the seventh. Fastball from Henry, called strike, and it's 2-1 on Gates. Gates had a single to right earlier in the game. Swings and fouls one back out of play. Off the left side. Evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the seventh. Cougars down by 3 with a guy in scoring position. Gates, slow ground ball to the second baseman, Vargas. Ooh. So slow ground ball to the second baseman, Vargo. Throws it to the first baseman, Jones, and the umpire calls Gates safe at first on a close play. And the runners are on the corner for the Cougars. So Henry delivers to the top of the order of the Cougars, Hahn. He's batting now in the bottom of the 7th. 2 out. Runners on the corners for the Cougars. No balls, 1 strike on Hahn. Curveball fouled off the right side. And that's over the first base side grandstands. And it's 0-2. Cougars down to their last strike. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Henry sets, delivers. Ground ball to the shortstop, Bertino. Throws it to the first baseman wide, and the ball gets out of play. He gets third, and he gets second. So, ground ball to the shortstop, Bertino. Throws it wide of first baseman Jones, allowing a runner from third, Collins, to score. And moving Gates in the scoring position. And Hahn also advances into scoring position on the overthrow. Ball went out of bounds. Both runners advance a base. So now the Cougars, 2 in scoring position, 2 out. 2 in scoring position with Zufall up to bat. Henry sets to deliver, and we call time at the plate by Zufall. Outfielder in left is playing relatively deep. Single might be able to score 2. Center fielder Floyd is also deep. There's the pitch. Strike right down the middle from Henry on Zufall, and the count's 0-1. Zufall digging in. See if a single can tie this game. Curveball. And Zufall way out in front. Good pitch sequence there by Henry to get Zufall out in front. And it's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ball in the dirt. And that's going to let Gates score. And it puts the tying run 90 feet away. So the Cougars are able to scratch 2 across and have the tying run 90 feet away. And the count is, I think it's 1-1. But I'm not sure. 1-1 on the count. Zufall at the plate. There's a pitch. Ooh. Called ball, and it's 2-1. Again, strike zone has not been very consistent. Zufall swings through. That was strike 3, apparently. So that was strike 3. Zufall swung through a high fastball. And that brings an end to today's game. Cougars were able to scratch 2 across in the bottom of the 7th, but not able to tie it and drop a heartbreaker 3-2 to the Leechburg Blue Devils on a beautiful Tuesday evening. We thank everybody for joining us. Next live stream is Thursday. Well, it'll be on Facebook. Next home game is Thursday against Indiana. It will be on Facebook Live. Next live stream, because the live stream will be being used at the main stadium for Kiski lacrosse that night. But once again, we thank you all for joining us. Kiski falls in a heartbreaker 3-2 to Leechburg. Everybody have a nice evening, and we'll look forward to having you next time. Good night.